Hey guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Latum, or Latum. I personally like calling it Latum because it sounds a little funny, but yeah, we're going to be taking a look at what I think is currently the best secondary weapon in Warframe. I'll be showcasing a build, how it performs, as well as some things to consider if you decide to get the Latum for yourself. Also, a small request before we move on: if you do find this video somewhat helpful by the end, consider checking out the channel and see if it's worth subscribing to. Oh, and timestamps are in the video description as always. A quick spoiler warning: if you have not completed the new war, then you're probably not gonna want to watch the rest of the video. This weapon is locked behind progression deep into the game, and if the comments on my videos point towards anything, most of you guys are still trying to get Necromex, which is understandable. Annoying chore, that is. Anyways, the main blueprint for the Latum is available for purchase from Caballero for 3000 standing and rank 0 with the whole Fast Syndicate, so you can get this relatively early after completing the Angels of Zariman quest, of course. The resource requirement for building the Latum specifically is not that bad, mainly 5 Void Plume quills and a single Void Plume pinion. However, to truly max out the Latum's potential, you will require the other 2 Incarnate weapons, so overall it is a bit of a grind. Why the other 2 weapons? Well, to unlock the special Incarnate form and access new evolution tiers, you have to visit Caballero to complete specific challenges. The final one, for Evolution 5, requires that you complete a solo mission with an Incarnate weapon equipped in each slot. So all in all, it does take a while to get the Latum set up for a proper build, unfortunately. But trust me, it is well worth the effort, as you'll see in a moment. I do have to stress that building this thing is down to personal preference, as with most other weapons and warframes, and what type of enemy you want to use it against will determine what sort of build you should go for. This is my setup for the evolution tiers. You have to take into consideration that the choices you make here will change the type of build that would be most optimal for your Latum. I just got a viral/heat build on this thing with a couple of galvanized mods. Kinda expensive in terms of form investment. Now, I don't outright recommend this, nor do I think it's the absolute best for all use cases. It is actually really difficult to test for all scenarios. Like, for example, you might argue that primed target cracker here is stupid, considering that I picked Devouring Attrition for my 5th evolution perk. My thought process was, if roughly half the shots were not going to trigger that perk, I'd want the weapon to deal at least a half decent amount of damage. And according to the simple calculator on Warframe, theoretically my DPS is a lot higher than with any other mod that I've tested. If you still feel like it's a dumb choice and waste of a slot, please by all means replace it with any other mod that you prefer. With how powerful the Latum is in Incarnate form, I don't think it really matters all that much for most of Warframe's content. For example, level 190 Thraxes, or Exo Officers, or Sentients, or heck, just all of them together at once. It is kinda insane how much damage this thing deals before any sort of Warframe buff. And void forbid if you decide to boost it with Zada's Whisper. There are probably plenty of videos on YouTube explaining why you'd want to do that, so feel free to look it up. The Latum has also become my absolute go-to weapon for Lich and Sisters of Parvos hunting. I mean, look at how easy this is. It makes me fear for some nerf in the future, because it literally trivializes the fight as long as they're not immune to the main elements you've modded your Latum for. In my case, that's viral and heat. This, paired with an arrows, makes for the best, most hassle-free setup that I've ever put together for Lich Hunting, and I'll probably put out a video on that after this one. Might be helpful to those of you farming for the Kuva Heck, perhaps. If there is a secondary that you feel is actually far better than the Latum, please do let me know down in the comments. I don't actually have the time or willpower to test builds on every weapon in the game, which is part of the reason this thing flew under my radar until recently, so I'd really appreciate that. And that should do it for this video. Check out the Discord server and Patreon if you'd like to support the channel. Otherwise, I'd like to just thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.